저희들이 다자글라 줘봐 참아들 저희들이 저희 에나라 고도
Hello.
야 참아라 저희들이 저지
Yeah, Rinpoche says Dashidele to everyone joining us in the live stream today.
가방만데 삼바스미 공당대 자라가 강 시용만한게 로제게 되는 같이 쉬요래 인나한테 다다 삼바스미지 기초만 가는데 나당선 잠버리는 수남제배 가오제게 요래 그 수남데 저대 하고 요 말이 수남고 저대 상제만 하고 그래 드리데 수남시 받으라 이제는 수남다 남제 수남 제베 수남지 제가 저람들 섬이야 요래 수남시 봐 상제라 하고나 드리데 상제지 다디는 가다리 다디 저담 치나 내 상제 저담 총전로고 요래 대제 다디 말이 받는 코로 상운지 다다다 동네 말이 다빈도는 정성 이 라니 소dim을 천고는 대선 거리 로아를 죽도 강내 송되네 다디는 송하래 다디는 유모버 톡도 되는 로아 톡송 들이들 유모버 레모 제세게 동들이 송하래 대외는 디니 뭐라 다 가래리데 다 산촉semre 들이 산촉sem이 조조는 산촉sem데 좀 매기 송거래 그 산촉sem이 총총을 가려다 그 세고 주는 의지니 오 마다 보이는데 시제다 마디가 보고를 삼지를 대나게 삼지를 요거래 대대 들이 대응 제시요래 대대 수능도 수능고 저도 삼지 실제가 하고 용을 등상 나디도 저래 다지디 요들 대로들에 다지디 뭔가 속고 차송지 오 다지디 뭔가 속고라고 차송지 라는 지디지 차송사 이 농철 전부 차대 요래 되게 저면은 내가 정말이 배는 내가 사고를 손을 쳐면은 내가 민족고 말이 대다वर 들이지 삼제 요장 나고자 마서들 뭐하지 마시는 들이지가 다 돌아 줘요래 디고를 들이다대 삼제들 돌아만 줘서 뭐하지 걸 때지 진짜 라송 들이대들은 나게 때서 카사도 쇼이 다시 들래
So last time we spoke about immeasurable love, and even though I don't know so much, I just shared with you whatever I have learned, whatever I know, and that is very important. And why is it so important? It is because everyone in this world wants to have merit, but no one knows the cause of merit. What we need to understand is that the cause of merit is love. And merit can also be divided into the path or the basis, the path, and the result. And so on the basis, we need to understand that the basis of merit is love. And that which contradicts love is self-grasping. The stronger our self-grasping, the smaller our love. Self-grasping and ignorance are the seeds of samsara. In the 37 practices, it says, all suffering without exception comes from wishing for one's own happiness. So where do the 6 realms come from? They come from self-grasping. And from self-grasping come the 6 afflictive emotions. And then from the 6 afflictive emotions grow 84,000 different afflictive emotions, which can each be combined with each other. And the antidote to all of these is bodhicitta, or the relative bodhicitta, which is as powerful as an apocalyptic fire. But even in a very small, ordinary context, what it is love. And it's the kind of love that a mother has for her child. And that's the kind of love that we must have. So we already mentioned that before. So no one knows, people don't know that this is the cause of merit. people think mainly about themselves, and they grasp at the self. They think, I have to care for myself. I have become rich. I took care for myself. I have become rich. And so this self cherishing, that is a big mistake. That will not lead to the desired result. And if we don't have the cause, there will be no result. It's like having a seed and planting it into the ground, but depriving it of water. No fruit can grow from that. So even though people do have love, they do not know how to sustain love, and they do not know how to dedicate the love. And this is how love becomes wasted or spoiled. So what I'm going to talk about today is a way for our love not to become wasted. And that's something that I did not yet mention last time, so I wanted to have another session to mention this today. Also.
그래서 수남제는 대사마 가고 요래 다들 잡을 거 소남다 가리스를 거리더라. 오 담을 저침보 들이 사자침보 들이랑 게티 톱침보 대답이라 다수남라고 오 뭐지 내가 가리스를 남도 침보 대답 총장의 총례 주점을 다 가리 남아 계시지 되는데 주거사와 땜방공부 사기지 와서는 오 다대ተ들 남아서 남침보래 돼. 我当每个人也打听没说过进步，他们觉得大家是让进步来的，人是那么热的，是那么严定的，是那么的강烈的，也是那么的深的进步的，甚至他们这里是那么谦虚的的，到사자지봉我做那个的的，把累积基本了长长路送사자지봉我的接送的，甚至他们这里的进步有的是，他这种的这个。대책정부 노아용의 차합송을 노아요래 습지 탐지를 요래돼 수남 체주도 상제래돼 상제가 저 가래래 상제가 샘래돼 샘되는 데는 오 다될 빨리 지지 말아 상제하고 샘냐도 요래서 사자집을 대송을 수남 요장 저침 수남 요장 되라 수남 때 마음이나 배도 동토요 말해 비장은 제가를 사오고 답 제가 상황도 되는 자공 제보에 야야라 자공이 저 심플 초고거래 초고거래 되는 자공 제보에 야야라 그 배가 봐 자공도 시험하잖아 오 다디들이 대책 정보에 상황이 걸리래 대책 정보에 나님이 시험 자공 시험을 쳐려줘 저도 사람도 사건 상용도 민고거래 대다 직과 규정을 내가 민고를 돼 있다 잡대면 민초면 그래서 다수 남가리데 세수는데 저대 다 삼제로 고고거래 대위는 삼제 동제 매지딱 매데 빼는다 다 산제 빼데 야요래 뭐지 너 자자 너 가실래 니마 자오는 까마트스 차트도 까마차트도 요래 무슨 셀제 빼 짜치버려 셀제 가자 사이카로 차대 사이는 뭐 셀제 오 너는 셀이 뭐 요거 따라 셀때 오는 우요래 우요보다 습지 하면 대책인 모델라 산지람지가 요리들 너는 다들 까마득도 요야지 가라노래 셀들라 요래 이틀 도를 도도지 다 수남사지 그 수남이 맛이 당상 때에 수남이 맛이 그처럼 답보자 다들들이 이제 막 주점 좀 받는 거 벌러 동 그 주마가 답보자 되고는 오다 3년째 시기 오만다고 그래서 그래서 누구들이 셀게 누구고래 좀 세per대요. 다 시기 오만 싸지 말아. 시기 그런데 이제 하고 시기를 치래. 이 치래 시기를 어디고 그 시기 빼가래. 시기 이제는 문제가 받지 빼래. 정말요 말이지. 정말면 조상 쪽 셈류나 단속 셈도 상제 고망 텀나. 서섬 직장 나타면 거라 쳐봐. 셈난 과나지 차오나 나발에도 토성을 중정만 가야요 말이야. 샘들 철기함에 받아 봐 샤함에 봐 기술은 어떻게 수남대 하고는 이거 서로 와를 누리다다 꼬라장에 내기 봐서 뒤리랑에 누리 용거리 산초스리 우이들이 동네 용거리 내가 산지에 답주들이다 저 말을 봐서 대신에 대다 뒤탑도 다 산초스도 당 산초스 곰 당 산초스 문지 이 산초스도 곰 이 산초스도 답보자 이 산초스도 Some did the archway of hard coaching. The Zubamagon made the hard did that more made the more top at more joy. Tuck it on go awesome. This is how you want tuck it on go awesome. This 70 William and Dali, the more man, you're not the tar, the Torado Yumari, Torabro, the tuck it on awesome. Dico that the ancient lasso, they touch more goni, and took something and music. There's something the same in Tonga Yomari. So does he except the same GD made it be or bedroom. That also will me. So I'm just came out, the teacher. Oh, that must be a student about top zones, some teacher about top zones. They love something of your day was a more. The top it was, I did the same with the local. They were the more top. They might be a casa with you in.
And so we all want to have merit. We all like merit, and we think that's good in anyone in this world. And so, what do we really think of merit is? For example, when you see a rich person, you say, "Oh, this person has a lot of merit." Or they have a big piece of land, or they are very powerful, or they're very successful in their activity. For example, if they are a business person, like a trader or so, or they are Dharma practitioners, they might be very successful in whatever they do. For example, there might be a Lama who can do many things for the monastery, the teachings, things just manifest, and then we say, oh, this Lama has a lot of merit. Or if it's a person, normal person, if the person is very rich, we say, oh, this person has a lot of merit. Or if they are very reliable and you can count on them, they're rich and so on, we say they have a lot of merit. And so, yes, they have merit, but we also need to understand, where does that merit come from? What is the basis of that merit? So the real basis of merit is Buddha nature. And that is what all sentient beings possess. They possess the greatest merit. In the Mahamudra teachings, in the beginning, it says homage to co-emergent unification, or to glorious co-emergence. And so this glory that is co-emergent within us, or kind of inherent within us, is our Buddha nature. All sentient beings possess Buddha nature. The Buddha had said that Buddha nature pervades the 6 realms. So Buddha nature is ever present, and the greatest merit is when it becomes awakened or becomes a Buddha. The Buddha is mind. So that is the meaning of this glory in homage to glory, to this to innate the innate glory within us. So in the Mahamudra teachings tell you, in other words, you possess great merit. Great merit is co-emergent or innate within you. Even though you have merit innate, it is not useful. It's just like planting a seed into a field, the ground, and then placing a big chunk of ice on top of it. So what that seed actually needs is water. And if you put an ice block on it, it won't help the seed grow into anything. The ice block first needs to melt. And so sentient beings possess Buddha nature, but this Buddha nature needs to connect to love and compassion. This is what makes the ice block melt. So our ice-like mind has to be turned into water, and then that water is absorbed into the ground, and then the seed. Without love, there is no way that our seed can ripen. So we need to understand that the actual cause of merit is love. And there is no one who does not possess love, even at least to some extent. For example, there's one example the Buddha gave, when you look at a piece of rock, but when the sun is shining on it, you see little stars, little sparkles, glitters in the rock. It's because innately the nature of rock is actually gold. And gold is something we consider as very precious. So gold really pervades all. The essence of earth is gold. And even though gold is there, it is not apparent. And so, but a sign that it pervades every rock, every earth is the sparkles, the light that comes from a rock when the sun shines on it. And so similarly, sentient beings possess Buddha nature. So the Buddha is naturally within them. That is homage to this innate, or this glorious co-emergence, or this innate within us. So we need to recognize it. We need to recognize that the basis of merit is love. And once you have recognized that, you have to hold on to it. Generosity, ethical discipline, and patience. We really sustain our love if we have patience. Love and compassion is like a lion's milk. And lion's milk is considered the most precious or kind of like superior sort of milk because it comes from a lion, and the lion is an animal that doesn't have to be afraid of any other animal. So you have this very precious lion's milk, but it also needs a vessel to contain it. And this vessel, the vessel to contain lion's milk, has to be golden, gold. And that is like patience. So that is like a quality of gold. It can contain lion's milk. And so in any case, if you have bodhicitta, you will attain enlightenment if you have bodhicitta and protected with love, with patience. And it is said in the Samantabhadra prayer, even if the three worlds were to be destroyed, there is no fear. There is no attachment to the five desirables of the senses. So when you attain enlightenment, when you see the nature of your mind, there's no more fear, just like a lion, because you see your mind is actually like space. And so now we need to understand what merit is. We need to recognize it. And often we may possess some love, but we don't recognize what merit is. And then due to our negative actions, our negative karmas, we take birth within samsara in the 6 realms and experience a lot of suffering. So in other words, even though we have bodhicitta, we still experience suffering. So the Buddha called that the cause of ignorance. So first, you have to recognize love, bodhicitta. Then you have to habituate to it. And then you have to always sustain it. So first, recognize the preciousness of love, and that if you have no patience, you will lose your love. And so a method to preserve your love and your patience, the merit that you have, is to dedicate. In the 5-fold path of Mahamudra, it says dedication is the supreme method. So it's the supreme method to preserve our merit. And that is what I would like to talk about today. I missed talking about that last time. So I want to speak about this method that allows us, that helps us to preserve our merit, to preserve our patience, our bodhicitta. So again, first we have to identify it. So bodhicitta is love. And love is something we can't see with our eyes, but it's there in our mind, and everyone has it to some extent. So whenever you feel love, instantly think that now I have gained great merit. Now I have found my merit. That is love. And now I have to give it away immediately. I have to give it away to others. I want to share that with others. So this giving away is a method also to see the nature of the mind. And the Buddha is the one who has seen the nature of the mind, and who recognized that this is a way for us to preserve our merit. And so in any case, this is something I would like to speak about a bit today. So.
Okay. Right. Yeah.
Hello?
Oh, yeah. This young Tata Tomang Wang Mang, Mue Pio Dong, Mang, you make Mang Jung, they you call some tango pina. Mue Pio Corre de Pina, Jing Sing Dobo to some of them. Sing Dobo Kashi, Tali, you what Jagger is what Dombo. Shankachi Dombo, La Camro, Carisin, some Camro, Da Church 1 minute, you come over it. Mila did the Mate de la Casina, Pere Mate de la Chivo Chidi, the Cagasol, Chibona, or Tata, Mama, Lake Yamama, something, Lumar, Late, David, Chidi, Kangatisum, which will go your race. Oh, this Sunam, the G chair was had a children, Tippin, Shantam, Metoching, Karna, Camdo, your race. Then, Tata, something, Gomia, this something, Jagado, oh, that's young Goma, the Tepasho. 就搞这些个都，哦，大笔去了的，你过去是不是打上来的？大笔去是打工头的，这个是进就那个没去的都，对吧？这样就不去了。他这就做了说那么的操作了，说那么的，他说那个叫这就这个人，本来这个人让他生的查工的学的，生个哪地查工的学的，先搞把了抄了这把这样的，这把聪明嘛，这了，搞的这说那么这嘛哈过，这把这说那么这嘛哈过了。 대마 타도 그때는 따뜻히 섭지 탐지에 삼제에 다 유리 제호데 사제 탐지 가는 문이들 그래서 뭐지 뭐 다다문이 이제 뭐서 그 다당 코데 탐지 이제 뒤서부터 싹 왔다는 거지 뒤사 이제 막 탐지 가래는들이 랑게 랑의 핀도 막이 기타 콜라도야 오늘 삼년제때 콜라도야 랑들이 미미미 치바요래 They that young man, Mamma, that control of Bagetta to be judged, said, or taken shit tawari. In that, more agility, that has the just manapa. Sanjay of the Barpa, which is our chief matter, the Kayamashan, oh, dearly, they were Sanjay of the Muvata, Maguma Tanyan and Huanjava. That are Jokosan and Huanjava, the Pumos of the door and check the baton. 얘들은 뭐 저기 다들 떼고 something 그래서 앞에서 돌아도야 용말 뭐한테 들이 뭐 문제는 되게 배영을 요래 빼나 너희는 들이 사월이 소들이 양다양도 찌들이 잘잘 배우고 그리 뭐 제기 되게 상제 답지 뭐 냠는 거거든요 다들 싸면 또 랑게티나 뭐 대기지부터 상제 답지가 상제는 거 취지도 또甚至 대식이 뭐요래 민토고요 대식이 뭐지 나디디 시행들이 자고의 시행 약속을 팀도 그래 데이터가 동대 sammen 데이터 뭐 하지 고선 맥바메 봐지 그런 뭐라 데이터가 상태가 뭐 하지 로어도甚至 동의를 되나 동의의 가래를 나디가 레사 유머버터가 이름도 왔다고 차요래 근데 나디 찍보면 상태 찍보고 도와를 배려도서 하고 다 사족세도 봐봐야 되는 사족세를 해주고 이 비용 싸면 맞아 이용되지 근데 다디 다다는 배수는 게 보통 내가 뭐하고 되고 저는 배라다고 배서 사야만 보통 들고 가면 좀 받는지 대체 뭐하지 기체 뭐요래 내가 뭐하냐 들으면 돼 봐도 기타 안 패야 이용되요래
So first, for dedication, we have to understand the difference between the benefits of dedicating and the faults or shortcomings of not dedicating. What are the benefits of dedicating our merit? For example, when we look at the natural environment, different trees, for example, there are different kind of trees. For example, there are some trees who have a very long lifespan, like a juniper, for example. And then there are some other trees who quickly dry out. And the root cause of that is that their root in the earth cannot connect to water, does not receive any water, so it dries out. And so in this world, there are some people who are always happy, whether that is in the Dharma or in a mundane sense. And if they're happy, it is because in previous lives they have engaged in actions with body and speech that come from a mind of love. So they bring with them a force of merit. So that is just like a tree that is always connected to water. So then when they become disconnected from love, it is like you're disconnecting the tree from water, so it will dry out. Now, when we cultivate love, first we recognize love. Love is what we give to sentient beings. And when it is directed toward higher beings, it becomes faith or devotion. And who do I direct that to? I direct that to the three jewels, to the Dharma. It is because the three jewels are the ones that have opened our eyes to the nature of karma, for example. And that is why we are able to find merit, to accumulate merit. And so when you feel devotion or faith in the three jewel arising in your mind, you can also recognize that feeling as a cause of merit. This feeling causes merit. This feeling that causes merit melts the ice block, the self-grasping in your mind. And when that melts away, your faith, your devotion will increase. So recognize this to be the cause of merit. And then the moment you recognize it, instantly think that may all beings have that. May all beings give rise to love. In our prayer, the Dhamma prayer, it says, in a dedication, so it says, I dedicate all the virtue accumulated Sara and Nirvana throughout the three times and so forth. So we bring to mind all the merit of past, present, and future, not just at this present time. And if you bring it all to mind and dedicate it, also whatever has been not dedicated in the past, we can still bring that to mind and now dedicate it. And this is a way for us not to lose all of our roots of virtue. And so the virtue is there, but it has to be dedicated. And the way in which it ripens depends on whether or not we have dedicated it. And as we mentioned last time too, there are many ways in which we can lose our merit. And that is, for example, if we get angry and so forth, there's 4 causes that cause us to lose our merit if we don't dedicate it. And that is why dedication is so significant. So dedication is a method for us not to lose our merit. And in a dedication prayer, it also says, I dedicate just as Manjushri did, and so just as all the Buddhas of the past have done, in the future will do, are doing now. This is also how it is explained in the Three-Heap Sutra, which is actually a text that is very concise in words, but complete in meaning. So what you can bring to mind when you dedicate is that I give it all to sentient beings. If you feel this, then your love or merit will not become spoiled or wasted. And moreover, not only do you preserve your merit, it also increases. For example, if you're planting a seed into the ground and then it grows into a crop, more seeds come from it. So hundreds and thousands of seeds come from it. So it proliferates, your merit proliferates. And so that is why as we keep dedicating, our merit just grows stronger and stronger. Our merit becomes mixed with the merit of all the Buddhas. That is also due to 3 powers. So the first power in this case would be your own dedication. Then the second power is the power of all the Buddha's dedication of great love. And then the third power is the power of Dharmadhatu, which is Buddha nature. And when the ice block has melted, it can become one with the ocean water, or the Buddha-like, the Buddha mind, of the mind of all the Buddhas. And then our dedication becomes like those of the Buddhas, and that is a non-conceptual dedication that transcends the 3 spheres. So the first dedication comes from a mind of love. So first we have to recognize love. We have to bring to mind the suffering of all sentient beings in the 6 realms. And then why do they suffer? They suffer because of self-grasping and all the karma accumulated with self-grasping. That leads to all the suffering in the 6 realms. So there is no suffering that doesn't come from self-grasping. And therefore the only thing that really helps them is love. So the dedication is really a dedication of love. We are giving them love, or our bodhicitta. That's the greatest benefit. So this is how we first reflect on the benefits or the qualities of dedication. So when love arises and you want to pass this on, you should recognize that now I have accumulated great merit. I have to give it all away. And so giving it all away is similar to putting a lot of money, millions of dollars, into a bank account. And so this is how dedication kind of works. You safeguard it and then you increase your merit. So dedication is a very important kind of aspect of our practice when it comes to increasing our merit. So.
바도에 바탑질 때 데이터가 편이 오래지.
So, for example, when a person dies, sometimes obviously we have to pray for them. And often people like wonder if like can I really help them with my prayers? And so people have doubts about that. And so how do we actually benefit them? That is what we need to understand. So in the Bardo, whatever appears to them is the reflection of their own mind. So whatever they have accumulated, whatever action they have engaged in their lives, the ignorance and afflictive emotions in our mind lead us to engage in actions in our lives. And then these are recorded like making a film, like filming something. And then that is stored in the mind, and in a bardo it becomes projected just like on a screen. So we are watching our own actions, whatever we have done with an afflicted mind. And if there are many afflictions in our mind, then very terrifying appearances will manifest in the bardo. And they will appear as real, just like things appear to us right now in this life. Everything will appear as though it possesses a true concrete existence, like things appear to us right now. So therefore, beings in a bardo experience very frightening perceptions. In order to help them, what they need is our love. So we supplicate to the higher beings, to the three jewels who are like our witness, and we bring to mind all the love that we have for our loved ones. So we bring together all of our love, our devotion, our love, whatever merit has been accumulated with love, we bring it all into one, and then single-pointedly dedicate it for the deceased. And they will receive it by virtue of those three powers. So first, the power of your own pure love that you give away to them. Second, the power of all the Buddhas of the three times great love. They always continuously dedicate, pray for all sentient beings. And their mind is like a vast ocean. So when you have great love, pure love, then you also have the power of all the Buddha's great love. And then third, the power of the Dharmadhatu, that is, all beings in the six realms and all beings in the bardo possess Buddha nature. Buddhas, they are only obscured by adventitious stains. When these stains are removed, they are true Buddhas. So these adventitious stains is self-grasping. And self-grasping is destroyed with love. And love becomes devotion when it is directed toward higher being. So for example, when we make offerings to them, or when we are generous to ordinary sentient beings. These practices diminish our self-grasping. And when there is no self-grasping, then no frightening appearance will manifest to us in the bardo. Milarepa also had said that when you give rise to bodhicitta, the 10 virtuous actions will naturally arise, and the 10 non-virtuous actions will become purified into their own place or in themselves, by themselves. So a person, there's many people who naturally are like that. So it's like then it naturally comes to you if you have love. So there's many people who just naturally don't hurt others, or they don't kill others, or they are generous to others, or they are patient with others. It's because they love them. So these paramitas naturally come to them. And so it is this love that can instantly benefit a bardo being. It can instantly dispel their suffering.
Oh, yeah.
차성 본다, yeah. 차성.
너희 다다 빼나 쇼워도 소모지 제발 가리래든 소불 가리다 다다다 무서 강에 요 말에 대해서 같이나 라게 지야가마 소나사자라 너는 나타메 봤으나 동네에 봐 내가 왔다가 거쳐도 추올라 저 주민이나 저 주민이나 내가 동상 내가 제치 보여래 이 데라들이나 추다오마다 사당 잠돌라서 와더니 안 아자가 와가더니 같이 제주매와 같이 소리지 못해라서 봐서 제도고 요 말에 시차도 가리나 단지 작은 장은 나와서리 먼저도 공부들 좀매로 초안도 신들이 남시 제때 요래 내가 내가 봐차대 샤롱들이 남시게 도에서 다 숨비도 말이더니 다 때문에 냐면 던져 차도 그게 가 차워 요래 차워 요래 대답이 가비들이 진짜 도매도 다 가려나 빼나 좋고 자들 맞아요 저 칼라테나 나 살아데 맞아라데 좋고 또들 맞아요 그 가에는 사도 그래 빼나 파파는 가래 대다기들이 시타는 남지들이 나와요 그것도 이제 짜증나게 남들이 다 도미 차대 대왕들이 그것도 답지 라고 조서로 쏘아다 봐도 탑랑 뚱무지 오니도 내라고 연구요래 빼대요래 빼도 너무 제보도 막 그거 조제고 야통 걸 말에 너무 제보도 천왕 역사들이 그렇죠 정도가 봐서 그랬고 대도서는 바디 남시들이라게 탑라들이 내라고 인송배 디가를 가리거든 이제 따뜻한 건 나는 일단 가도 도미 차대요래 빼는데 어서 동강을 요디 남지가 아마 보고 제보 탑지 다들 제보 탑에는 동강을 랩들이 좋고 또 다들 가래나자 가래는 통이 뒤들 땅도 강삼모 도나 요마 대로 차들이 대들 남자 때에 와서 대레디 와도 주는 대레 독 카차와면은 그리고 저들을 잡도 내려오더니 잡도 섞고 요래 내가 사파들이 산조다 쇼로 너무 대답 문이 피마되기 지게지 딩책들이 좋다고 요래 거도라 이 소불가비야 맞아라서 와대 저들을 잡도 로마시 쇼가도 피는 손에 그리고 잡도 조시 요래 산조다 하자 가르쳐 버려 산조다 제디 이제 문제를 아마다 계획이 요라고 메나데 디 로마 소설이라는 삼지 오절이 저거 될 삼지 오절이라는 게 되게 폐기고 또 삼지 주도 삼지를 제가요 왜 이제 문제들이 똑같아서 오고 말이 그 자자칼리들이 사서 빠르자리 대답제나 자자칼 저기들이 소속 못 봐요 또 문제들 삼지도 고요 삼지게 대답제는 폐기요래 저거라 대답 폐기요래지
And so now, really, what's the difference between someone who is alive and someone who is diseased? So those who are alive, and they actually experience a lesser hardship. For example, there are some people who bring some merit with them from previous lives, and as a result, now in this life, they experience fewer illnesses and not much suffering in the mind. And so because things are going okay for them, they're not really interested in the Dharma. So they think that the Dharma is okay, but it's also okay not to practice the Dharma. They are a bit prideful, and they think that I'm fine either way. And so they are not particularly interested in the deity, supplicating the deity or taking refuge, practicing the Dharma. So basically they are fine either way. They are not very interested. But then what happens when somebody dies? So when we die, the consciousness goes on into the bardo, and many dreadful perceptions will manifest in the bardo. In the bardo, we no longer possess the aggregate of form, but we still possess the four other aggregates, the four heaps, the four aggregates, which is we have our consciousness, perception, feelings, karmic formation in the mind. And so due to that, we perceive various karmic visions in the bardo, and the consciousness experiences intense suffering. the suffering the consciousness experiences in the bardo is many times more intense than the same kind of suffering we may experience now while we are alive. For example, if someone is full, so they ate a lot of food, so they are full, they're not hungry. If you give them food, they think it's okay to eat a little more. I'm also fine without it. But if someone is really hungry, starving, they will eat anything, like a pig. So it is actually said that when somebody has passed away, it is easier to benefit them with the Dharma because they are so desperate for any rescue, for any refuge. They will take anything without any pride. They are completely desperate. In this state of despair, they are ready to take anything without any pride. So it's very easy to direct them towards the deity and towards the three jewels, towards the refuge. For example, the difference between the living and the dead, the deceased is, for example, when somebody's alive, they are like a heavy tree trunk. No one can carry a tree trunk. Someone who has passed away is like a tree trunk in water. It's very easy to pull a tree in the water. You can pull it by a small thread, by a small string. So it is said that it's very easy to benefit a bardo consciousness through various skillful means, because in the bardo, they experience many confused, dreadful perceptions, and they are completely helpless and desperate. Or, for example, give one other example, when we were in prison in the past. Before going to prison, there were many high lamas and like officials and so on, ministers, who were very wealthy before, had lived a very affluent life. Once they came to prison, they were starving. At that time, they would eat anything. They would not discern between what is clean, what is dirty, what is good enough for me. They would just eat anything. So you lose all your pride when you are in such a state of desperation. And so the suffering we experience in the bardo is far more intense than the suffering we experience now in this life. And therefore, it is easy to liberate a bardo sentient being and direct them toward the refuge of the three jewels. And so one way of benefiting them is practicing the Changjok ceremony, where we dedicate or we pray for those bardo sentient beings. And by the power of we can actually benefit them. So that's the difference between the living and the deceased. So as long as we are alive, many people don't know how to go for refuge. They're not interested in any refuge. But once they have passed away, they know how to find the refuge. And that is why the Changjok, for example, is very important. And in order to practice the Changjok, it's not completely necessary for a Lama to perform it. Of course, if you have a Lama present, that's ideal. But if not, any disciple can practice the Changjok, because the main power of this practice is the power of love. If you love the person who has deceased, then you benefit them. The Dharma is really love. So it's not absolutely necessary. It's not imperative that you must have a Lama performing it. You can also perform it. Or you can also follow a recording, or follow the live stream and so on. And then read the text and focus on the visualization. The visualization is most important. And what actually benefits the deceased is your mind of love. Lasso?
그래서 다 응고하고 다톡받아 저책 디바데서 다 응고서 파바년 미기는 망보 요리 이는 소소라 고아야 보샤거도 지나 핀사리 다 예류마 이성제송 주섬 촌이 제사바 저조 양다 침봉고송 뒤책좀들라 다 예류마 예성제들 로아를 족 참아 류마 주랑 빼는 거 랑 나타데 다보잖아 포그도 다보잖아 피기는 피부사와 타다 개와인서 대 개와디 개와데들 르거고리 아그 고니 취당 직디 강그 사와나 이나 피부 상지 제대는 피부 취당 직디 강 이나 피부 깨자데 인리도 참아 취인서래 대답지 저르들 대답 사촉로 저르들 끼는 사촉로 저르 저르서 이제 고는 지지 공이야 갑자기 람 저르지네 대답지 동의 남서지는 능해지나 되게 벌써 동네들이나 되는 얘기 제일 다들 소리자 다들 졸라버치 되게 사그래 이제 개와 대답을 되게 누가 가면 제바도 세부들이 생기 남질라 가디는 얘기를 해지는 빨리 양은 또 잠깐만 또 생기 동가가지고 이제 제바받지라 대해서 이제 개와 쪼일 거리들이 누가 개와도 파바리 대답을 하더니 개가 가리 싸요 같아 내가 give pio 맛이 되고 명맛이 맛이 뭐자 맛이 대답지 냠도 사도 다시 sabje 저 도도지 저르되나 토마사 저를 저토고 요래 가인지 셉지 답지 셈더라고 셉지 찍고 찍장이 다이 이메면에 도다고 대방원이 로로 셉지 속에 속갈 사는 저 도도 뭐 맛이 와 답지 도도는 수능 못 하고 요래 그래서 개와 제가 저를 조양다 싶으면 셉지 탐지 사제지 고박도 버체도 상한테니들 저는 이게 다 초라서 맞습니다. 야양 짜들이 라 소소고 요래 대하장 계지 버려 이 고아도 야고 차나 걔가 대부 개바 상미 봐서는 들다다 어서 다음 코를 장제 기와한테 초라 성성은 내 말에 양을 기와 세부들이 갑자기 세부들이 있는 거요래 세부들 우리는 때들이 세부들 나가지가 제발에 매일 오져야 말이야. 갑대는 레사는 대외형이 미고 래 게베게 대가고 대외도 저도 오면 타톡들이 사족스면 줄 아요 말이 도담문이 데이터와 하고 저도 양다 쳐보고서 기타 강세바데요 르마 예수 기타 강세바다 람서지 라지 탐색 대시 벨라 도로 지금 사다 제베 요거 septi 탐제 대행 요거는 지위되게 코스남 사케요래 지위가 소남지 뭐 사송라 얘를 집어다는 것이 칼라테에서 집어들어야 양고서 페이다 걸로 페이다 대탐제가 코스남 사케요래디 소남 꼬라자게 요래 저 페이버사와 타바게들이 꼬라자들이 기타 소남 미리 찍자면 상하스는 그 저래 또 하고 이 소남도 이제 뭐 하고 들이더라고 저 다다지 다들 좀 탄소 초사 탐회에 동지 디송 지게 다 타는 저 다들 좀 도도지 들이대 저도 하나 집어먹어요 이 사제 가는 거나 이 라지지가 들이 게다 랍치보도 그래 이들 뭐 와서 뭐들이 뭐안 거래 체력대 배답되고 체력마다 얼마 다지는 맞아 좀 대체 손이 껴서 저도야 나 집어먹어 이미 대토서도 다 톡을 내버가리 사제 고마서 봐대 다다 나지지도 저 루일 때에 나지지 상무 얼마도 새로 나지지 내가 대하고서는 성들 나지지도 상승 이 셈나 갔다가 내록도 하고도 이 내록도 투바고는 매서 그 질로 지람 양에서 말이 내가도 그러서 그래 이제 말아래야 네 자외 상지 이보 착해 요래 이 상황당 때는 뭐 하지는 이제 제배만 지인이 공이甚至남들 남들 오만 비면 다다게 싶어서 영어고 사대 뭐지잖아. 이 나도 이제 밤마주 뭐지죠. 이 기체 뭐요래. 데이터로 통일이야 본다 없지.
And then what is the ultimate dedication? For this, I refer to the Vajrayana practice because many people are familiar with the Vajrayana practice. And I'm also mentioning it because in the Vajrayana dedication, by reading this dedication, I gained a very deep understanding. And therefore, I feel that other people also could benefit from that. what does it say in a Vajrakhilaya dedication? So whatever two accumulations have been accumulated throughout the 3 times with body, speech, and mind of myself and others, and then transforming and perfecting them. I dedicate all of it to perfect purity. So transforming and perfecting all these virtues, I dedicate all these virtues to perfect purity. And so, and that has a very, very deep meaning. And so we benefit sentient beings through body, speech, and mind, or we dedicate our virtues of body, speech, and mind for all sentient beings in the 6 realms. So the virtues of the body are all the things that we do physically, the labor, the things that we actually physically do to help others, to benefit others. And then the virtues of the speech are the things that we say that benefit others, whether it is something that we say about the Dharma or something beneficial in the mundane world. Any beneficial conversations, words are all Dharma, or virtues of the speech. And this is noted that transforming here actually, so transforming and perfecting. The transforming is we transform ordinary speech into meaningful speech, a speech that benefits others. And then the virtue of the mind is, for example, when you're sleeping at night and you're waking up, you think of the suffering of sentient beings instantly. And you bring to mind their suffering and think that may their suffering calm down. I feel great compassion for those sentient beings. So this is the virtue of the mind that you dedicate. And so what's most important is the virtue of the mind. Because whatever you do with body and speech comes from within the mind. You always think of others. For example, you think of the suffering when you see an animal. You think of the suffering of that animal. So even if there's nothing you can really do to help them, you feel compassion for them. So you bring to mind the suffering of beings who don't know the difference between the benefits of virtue and the shortcomings of not accumulating virtue. Those beings who don't know how to dedicate and who find merit. And so you bring all of that together and then transform. So in the Vajrakhilaya it says transforming and perfecting. So everything ordinary is brought together and then transformed. And it is transformed into bodhicitta. So actually, your own mind and the mind of all beings is exactly the same. Anyone's mind is the same. On the ultimate level, self and others are not separate. There's no self and other. So therefore, we can bring to mind all the merit and anything accumulated by sentient beings in the 6 one, and then transforming it into bodhicitta, into a great merit. So that is the meaning of transforming and perfecting all of these virtues that have been accumulated by self and others. And then it is accumulated to the enlightenment of all sentient beings. So coming back to that prayer here in the Vajrakhilaya, so I dedicate it all to perfect purity. May the fruit of the non-dual essence be attained. That's the end of that prayer. So it's very important to gain a good understanding of that, and because this is really a way for us to not allow our roots of virtue to become spoiled, when in fact we can find merit anywhere, and there is much merit to be accumulated that is often goes unrecognized. So recognize the true root of merit to be the love in your own mind. And mind itself is like space, and even if one dies, it does not disappear. And if self-grasping diminishes, there's no more negative karma, no negative result can ripen. So on the ultimate level, so here in the Vajrakhilaya, may the fruit of the non-dual essence be attained. That's the ultimate dedication, like the ultimate state to be attained, the non-dual essence. Again, we bring to mind all the virtue accumulated with body, speech, and mind of self and others. For example, when you see a beautiful bird that has a beautiful voice, that bird has great merit among different animals, and then you feed that bird. And so you're being generous, then you accumulate a lot of merit. And so you see how the merit goes around in circles like this. So there's one comes to you with great merit, and then you see that and you give them something, and that's great merit. So merit goes around, it goes around like this. It kind of spread like this. So there's actually nothing that cannot be transformed into merit. Anything can be merit. You only need to recognize it. Also, Jigten Sumgön had said that the dedication, when we dedicate, we have to gather into one all the merit accumulated throughout the 3 times by self and others and so forth. Everything has to become gathered into, or we gather everything into one, and then this virtue becomes extremely powerful. So this is how we need to dedicate. And then it is dedicated to the attainment of the non-dual essence. So what is this non-dual essence to be attained? It is the ultimate state of enlightenment. So right now we perceive self and other because we have a body. Later, when we no longer have a body, there's just mind, and within the mind there is no self and other. Enlightenment, or Sangye in Tibetan, Sang means to have cleared away or purified all dualistic perception of self and other. And Ye is vast or expansive, like the sky. Longchen Rabcham had said in the Immeasurable, the treasury of Pith Instructions, he said that when you have realized the natural state of the mind, there is no higher learning than that. And Milarepa had said the root of the Buddha, or the root of the Buddha is within your own mind, and you can't find the Buddha outside of yourself. So look at the essence of your own mind. So this is how we reflect on the ultimate merit. And merit, again, is something we can accumulate continuously. For example, when you're asleep and you wake up, immediately think of all sentient beings and recite Om Mani Padme Hum mantra. And then recognize, now I have accumulated great merit because I feel the suffering of sentient beings. Now I must dedicate that merit. And so this is a way to practice merit, accumulate merit, practice the Dharma and accumulate merit continuously, day and night. And so the important point to that brings it all together, that makes the merit be sustained, is dedication. So it would be very good to keep that in mind. That's all. And if there's nothing else that you can do, at least what you can do is, for example, to wear a t-shirt like that with this Hong sign, or to wear this wristband, this bracelet with the liberation by seeing mantra. And whoever sees this has the seed of liberation planted in their mind. So just wearing these is an incredible, great merit. It's actually a very easy way to accumulate merit, but it's extremely meaningful. So as you go about accumulating merit, it's also important to recognize that, I am going around benefiting beings. They benefit from this. May they benefit from this. I want to benefit them, and then immediately dedicate that altruistic thought for them. And this is a way for your merit to be sustained, so you don't lose your merit. So today we shall recite the Shantideva dedication prayer for dedication. And within this prayer, actually, the meaning of all of this is actually contained within this prayer. This prayer really benefits all sentient beings. Dashidelek.
So in the Blue Book, dedication, page 61. 61. By all the virtue I have now amassed, by composition of this book which speaks of entry to the Bodhisattva way, may every being tread the path to Buddhahood. May beings everywhere who suffer torment in the minds and bodies have, by virtue of my merit, joy and happiness in boundless measure. As long as they linger in samsara, may the present joy know no decline. May they state of taste the unsurpassed beatitude in constant and unbroken continuity. Throughout the spheres and reaches of the world, in hellish states, wherever they may be, may beings fettered there, tormented, taste the bliss and peace of Sukhavati. May those caught in the freezing ice be warmed, and from the massing clouds of Bodhisattva's prayers, may torrents rain in boundless streams to cool those burning in infernal fires. May forests where the leaves of blades and swords become swift groves and pleasant woodland lays, and may the trees of miracles appear, supplanting those upon the hill of Shalmali. And may the very pits of hell be sweet with fragrant pools, all perfumed with the scent of lotuses, be lovely with the strides of swan and goose, and waterfowl so pleasing to the ear. May fiery coals turn into heaps of jewels, the burning ground become a crystal floor, the crashing hills celestial abodes, adorned with offerings, the dwelling place of Buddhas. May the hail of lava, fiery stones, and weapons henceforth become a rain of blossoms. May those whose hell is to fight and wound return to lovers offering the flowers. And those engulfed in fiery Vaitarani, their flesh destroyed, their bones bleached white as in the flowers, may they, through my own merit strength, have godlike forms and sports with goddesses in Mandakini's peaceful streams. What fear is it, they ask, that he grips the henchmen of the dirty Lord, their frightful vulture and the carrying cause? What noble strength is it that brings us joy and drives away our dreadful night? And looking skyward, they see the shining form of Rajapani. Then may the streams be quenched in joy, and may they go to him. And when they see the thin lava flood of hell extinguished in a rain of blossoms drenched in scented water, at once fulfilled in bliss, they ask, how can this be? And thus the densities of hell will see the one who holds the lotus. Friends, throw away your fears and quickly gather here. For who is it who comes to banish dread, this youth with bound up, gleaming hair, this loving bodhisattva saving and protecting every being, whose power relieves all pain in ceasing joy? Do you see the splendor of his house as echoes praises of 1,000 goddesses? The 100 gods who they laid their diadems before his lotus feet, the rain of flowers falling on his head, his eyes moist with compassion. Thus may those in hell cry out on seeing Manjughosha. And likewise, when through these moods of virtue they see the joyful clouds that fall, the cooling scented rain, these obscurations cleansed by bodhisattvas like Samantabhadra. May all those languishing in hell come now to perfect happiness, and may the supreme animals be freed from fear of being preyed upon each other's food, and may the famished spirits have such joy as those who dwell within the northern continent, and may they be replete and satisfied by streams of milk that pour from noble Lord Avalokita's hand, and bathing his heat, may they be refreshed and cooled, and may the blind receive the sight, and may the dead begin to hear, and women near the time being forth like Maya Devi, free from any pain. And may the naked now be clothed, and all the hungry eat the field, and may those parched with thirst receive pure waters and delicious drink. May the poor and destitute find wealth, the haggard and the careworn joy. May confidence relieve those in despair and bring them steadfastness in every excellence. May every being ill and disease be freed at once from every malady. May all the sickness that afflicts the living be instantly and permanently healed. May those who go in dread have no more fear. May captives be unchanged and now set free. And may the weak receive the strength. May living beings help each other in kindness. May travelers upon the road find happiness no matter where they go, and may they gain without the need of toil the goals on which they set their hearts. May those who put to sea in boat or ship attain the port that they desire, and may they safely come to shore in sweet reunion with the kith and kin. May those who lose their way and stray in misery find fellow travelers, and safe from the threat of thieves and savage beasts be tireless and the journey light. May children and the old, the weak, protect bewildered in the wild and pathless ways, and those whose minds are dulled, and all who are insane have pure celestial beings of the guardians. May all attain the human state and be possessed with wisdom, faith, and love. May perfect livelihood and sustenance. May they have mindfulness throughout their lives. May everyone have unrestricted wealth, just like the treasure of space, enjoying it according to the wish, without a trace of harm or enmity. May beings destitute of splendor become magnificent and bright, and those worn down by toil and drudgery acquire great beauty and perfection. May all the women in this world attain the strength of Tara, and may the lowly come to excellence, the proud and haughty lose their arrogance. And thus, by all the merit I have gained, may every being living on a side abandon all the evil ways, embracing goodness now and evermore. From bodhicitta may they never separate, and constantly engage in bodhisattva's deeds, and may they be accepted as disciples by the Buddhas and turn aside from what is Mara's walk. And may these beings, each and every one, enjoy an unsurpassed longevity, living always in contentment. May the very name of death be strange to them. On every side, in all the 10 directions, may groves of wish-fulfilling trees abound, resounding with the swiftness of the teachings spoken by the Buddhas and the Bodhisattva children. And may the earth be awesome everywhere, free from boulders, cliffs, and chasms, flat and even like a level palm, and smooth like rocky shallow deep. And for many circles of disciples, may multitudes of bodhisattvas rise in every land, adorning them with every excellence. From bird song and the signing of the trees, from shafts of light and from the sky itself, may living beings, each and every one, perceive the constant sound of Dharma. And may they come into the presence of the Buddhas and meet with bodhisattvas, offsprings of the same, with clouds of offerings unbounded. May the teachers of the world be worshipped. May kindly spirits bring the rain of time, for harvest to be rich and plentiful. May princes rule according to the truth, and may the world be blessed with all prosperity. May medicines be strong and full of virtue. May healing spells be chanted with success. May spirits of the air that feed on flesh be kind, their minds imbued with pity, and let no being ever suffer pain. Let them neither err nor languish, never doing evil. May they have no fear, nor suffer insults, and may their minds be ever free from sorrow. In monasteries, temples, and the like, may reading and reciting widely flourish. May harmony prevail among the Sangha, and may its purpose be all fulfilled. May ordained minds intent upon the practice find perfect places for retreat in solitude, abandon every vagrant thought, and meditate with trained and serviceable minds. May nights have all the ones supplied, may quarreling, vindictiveness be strange to them. Let all who have oppressed monastic life uphold the pure and unimpaired observance. May they feel regret when discipline is broken, and always may they strive to cleanse away the faults. And may they thus obtain the fortune to undertake unfailing discipline. May the wise and learned be revered and always be sustained by offerings, with minds suffused with purity. May their renown spread far and wide. May beings never languish in the lower realms. May pain and hardship be unknown to them. Enjoying more than godlike strength and beauty, may Buddhahood for them be swiftly gained. Again and yet again may sentient beings make offerings to all the Buddhas, and with Buddha's unimagined bliss may they enjoy undimmed and constant happiness. May all the Bodhisattvas now fulfill the high intention for the sake of beings, and sentient beings likewise now receive the good the Buddhas have in store for them. And may the Arhat and Prayatika Buddhas at length attain the perfect happiness. And may I also, through Manjushi's kindness, reach the ground of perfect joy, and throughout the stream of all my lives embrace monastic ordination. Thus may I abide sustained by simple ordinary fare, and in every life obtain a dwelling place in perfect solitude. Whenever I desire to gaze on him, or put to him the slightest question, may I behold the unobstructed vision of Manjubosha, my protector. To satisfy the needs of beings dwelling in the 10 directions, to the margins of the sky, may I reflect in every deed the perfect exploits of Manjushri. And now, as long as space endures, as long there are beings to be found, may I continue likewise to remain to drive away the sorrows of the world. The pains and sorrows of all wandering beings, may they ripen wholly on myself, and may the virtuous company of bodhisattvas bring about the happiness of beings. May the doctrine, only remedy for suffering, the source of every bliss and happiness, be nurtured and upheld with reverence, and throughout a vast continuous of time endure. And now to Manjubusha I prostrate, whose kindness is the wellspring of my good intent, and to my virtuous friends I also bow, whose inspiration gave me strength to grow.
sangha thank you to ya go you want no trachi dele ya
Ashidele. Thank you, everyone.
yo
Ashidele, Rinpoche.